The differentiation between high performing and less well performing is around three areas. The first is there's a greater emphasis on the high performers amongst client focus and differentiation, whereas the underperformers tend to be less focused, broader in terms of the clients they serve, and seem to be achieving less differentiation amongst the client base. The second area is the high performers have more of an industrialized operating base, and this means they're more automated in the back office, and they have also employed and enabled starting to enable the front office with technologies. But the third thing is probably that differentiates the high performers is their ability to move into new capabilities. And these capabilities are in areas like digital, where they are being able to offer digital services to the clients in conjunction with the relationship managers. So this is digitally enabling the RMs to have an interconnected conversation. Another factor that differentiates the high performers is their ability to work well with partners. These partners can be from a variety of types of firms. They can be product providers, where they provide sophisticated specialized products and services, which enables the private bank to offer these to their clients. They could also be technology partners, which allows the private bank to offer more interesting and innovative approaches towards technology. And they're generally better at managing the sourcing arrangements and the control implications of working with these partners. And that's a trend we see was likely to continue, because very few private banks and wealth managers in the future will be able to do everything in-house as they have done in the past in order to improve the performance challenges that I talked about earlier. So the issue with legacy technology is more around the cost, because what you have is quasi-manual processes. So you have some technology in the back office, but the issue is you obviously, without fully automated technology, and nowadays there are opportunities to have straight-through processing, without the new technologies in the back office, the issue is the quasi-manual becomes very costly because it's people-intensive. So what you can think of is high-cost, high people-oriented back offices. The problem for the private bank is that back office confers no advantage whatsoever in terms of differentiation. It's purely a cost game, an efficiency game, and a service level game. So the issue is, if those banks with the high costs directly correlate to having the legacy systems. In going forward, they're now managing a greater number of clients. In client segments. Some of those client segments are newer for them. So, you can think of wealthy women. There's significant numbers now of wealthy women, and that's occurring not just in Europe, but also particularly in Asia and also in North America. The women have different requirements. They tend to invest in different sorts of products and services, and they also demand a slightly different way of being serviced in terms of the advice and the contact network that they're seeking. So really it's a reflection of the changing nature of the client base. Another good example is there are now more entrepreneurs and first-generation entrepreneurs. What these clients require from their private banks and wealth managers is slightly different. What they want is the contact network to get in to understand how other first-generation entrepreneurs have successfully developed their business. So you can start to see that the banks themselves are aware of the fact that the client base is changing. What they're struggling a little bit with is how they serve those new needs. We asked them a question on how well they were doing in managing change, and what the interesting findings was no one would rate themselves as doing really well on managing change. The big areas were the ones you might expect. So the main challenges were around attracting sufficient talent. And the talent really has to have new skills. The new relationship manager is going to be more advice-led. They're going to need to have greater awareness of more sophisticated products and services. They're also going to be able to deal with different types of clients, these being women, they could be first-generation entrepreneurs, they could be people who have specialist needs, so those that have tax structuring or maybe more established business owners who want to merge or liquidate some of their company-held assets and turn those over to the private bank to manage. So the main area is really around people change, the technology change, and the other area that banks continue to struggle with is managing the cost, the sheer cost of the regulatory change, given that we're just coming through MiFID, suitability is now moving out of Europe into Asia, and the whole challenge is that the cost of managing that regulation is quite high. So it's really, in summary, it's people challenges, it's technology challenges, and regulation.